Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemzeski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to talk about gastrointestinal issues, and I feel like, Adam, we could probably have 10 episodes on this because you really have to be a pretty darn good sleuth to get through all of the potential issues. But let's start with the biggest one. I mean, everybody says, I'm bloated, I have pain, I have gas by the afternoon, I look like I've swallowed a basketball. So you and I work with a lot of clients together on this. I know you ask me to co-consult with you on anything that has some kind of a medical component to it. So what do you think the biggest cause of this dietary-induced IBD or IBS can be linked to?
The biggest trend I see is food source. Obviously, there's usually something harsh, maybe too little fiber, too much fiber. So those are two big ones. And like you said, we could probably do a really long series on this one. Excessive supplement use, especially if they're powder form. You might see someone who's drinking like BCAAs all day, and that can be disrupting their GI. And that can be hard to find because sometimes people just won't tell you if they're doing that. They assume it's healthy because it comes from a supplement company, so they kind of go overboard on that stuff. So a lot of it's symptom management. Are you having gas? Are you having constipation? What is the overall issue that you're having? And then just kind of slowly mitigating, throwing things out from there, looking at food sources. But I typically always start with fiber. Where's your fiber level at?
So let's do this. I can tell right now we're going to have to break this up into a couple sections. So we will focus for this one on that issue, that food source fiber. So one of the things I see, like you said, if somebody is very, very constipated, you have to look at, are they having enough fiber? But a lot of times, too much fiber also causes constipation. So fiber sources include the obvious, which are vegetable fibrous sources of food, of carbohydrates. And if you have too much raw vegetable, if you're having raw broccoli, raw cauliflower, things like that, that's so much more difficult to digest. The cooking process actually breaks those oligosaccharides down into more disaccharide forms. And so that's why they're a lot easier to digest. And so you gotta be concerned about that. If you're having that kind of bloating, especially in the late afternoon and evening, remember it takes a full 24 hours for food to go from your stomach, through your small intestine, through your large intestine, all the way down to your sigmoid colon, which is where you're gonna really start getting those initial symptoms. And so something that you ate 18 to 24 hours ago is what is giving you those problems now. And so when you're looking for a potential link, think of, what did I eat for dinner or the afternoon yesterday? Look for other symptoms like just excessive flatulence. And then we can start identifying those. But let's talk about some other sources of fiber, Adam, like protein bars that may have 20 grams of, quote, fiber. Maybe some of these other protein type products, they now have these, different kinds of chips and high protein, low carb breads and wraps and things like that. So those historically have not only excessive amounts of fiber, but they're cheap filler fiber. They're things that don't digest well. And what happens if we don't digest it, Adam?
Yeah, we cause just a bunch of inflammation, and that typically makes problems worse. I saw a huge trend with the miracle noodles people are eating now and bad digestion. They're just some kind of, I guess I'd call it like a exotic starch. It's some kind of yam extract that we don't have here. They usually come from China, and they sure as heck aren't free. They have to have some kind of caloric value. But those have been a huge thing that I've seen with people having slow digestion as well.
Yep, and like you said, something that's not digested goes to the large intestine. The anaerobic bacteria then absorb that and ferment and create methane gas. That's exactly where that comes from. And then, as you said, that leads to inflammation, which is what I want to talk about in the next episode. We're going to do a part 2 on this, which transitioning from trying to find those foods that cause the issue to what if you end up with tissue level actual inflammation. It becomes a medical issue. So you guys make sure you watch the next episode for part 2, and we will catch you there.